Hello, stamping friends. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. My name is Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Today is Friday, November 12th, 2021, when I'm posting this, and On Stage is going on right now, which, if you are a demonstrator, you can be part of On Stage. If you're not a demonstrator, this is a perfect time to join, and I'm going to talk about that when I turn the camera down. There's lots of things going on in the Stampin' Up! World in November. You can see the On Stage swag box behind me, which was full of goodies, and there was a brand new stamp set, a sneak peek, hasn't even been released yet, called In the Moment, and I'm going to use that today for my card project. I also want to remind you, it's not too late to sign up for my December 3rd tags, gift card holders, and more Zoom class on December 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. And I'll share a little bit more about that and how you can register when I turn the camera down. There's a lot of things going on right now in the Stampin' Up! World in November, so let me turn the camera down, share a few things, and then let's do some stamping. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. And if you click that bell icon, you'll be notified when I upload videos. And I normally go live at 1 p.m. Central on Tuesday and upload a video on Friday. So let's turn the camera down. So here's my host code for November, WMNQDKFK. And my email, my phone number, and my blog. So it's not too late to register for my online class. It's going to be December 3rd from 6 to 8 p.m. You can register at www.rusticbarncards.com. The class fee is $45, and you will receive over $30 of product. So you will receive a full package of the Designer Series paper of gingerbread and peppermint. And if you have not seen this beautiful Designer Series paper, it is gorgeous. And of course, it's two-sided. You also will receive a full roll of the Real Red double stitch satin ribbon, a package of wonderful gems, although you'll have a full package. This one I've been using, and I'm going to use in today's project along with the double stitched ribbon. You also will receive 2 mini paper pumpkin boxes, and we will be making 6 tags, 2 gift card holders, and decorate our mini paper pumpkin boxes. So 10 projects, $45. Go ahead and register. Monday, November 15th is the last day to register, so that way I can get everything out in the mail to you. You also will be receiving the cardstock that we're going to need too. And there's more information, and the stamp set I'm going to use is Perfectly Plaid and the Pine Tree Punch. But that is not included in the class fee, but you can purchase that separately and add that on. And then we have a seasonal sale coming up for 3 days from November 16th to the 18th. I want to tell you that now because cardstock, ink pads, and dies will be on sale. 10% off cardstock, 15% off ink pads, and 20% off dies. This is from the annual catalog. So I would be making my list now and be ready to order on November 16th. This is also a great time in November to join Stampin' Up! If you've been thinking about joining. Normally the starter kit is $99, and right now through November 30th it's $75. But you can still choose $125 worth of product, which is your choice from the mini and or the annual catalog. You'll have free shipping with that. You do pay tax on the $75. And then your orders after that, you save 20% discount. So that is really great. But not only is it great, if you join my Rustic Barn Stampers during November 16th through the 18th, you can also, this cardstock, ink pads, and dies will also be on sale for the starter kit. So you're going to be able to even make that starter kit larger than you would without that discount on November 16th, 17th, and 18th. So reach out to me if you have any questions. You don't need to sell. This is a great way for you to save on your crafting supplies. Our new paper pumpkin this month is called Lots of Fun, and you can order that right now. Starting today, November 11th, or yesterday actually, because today's the 12th. Yesterday, November 11th through December 10th, and is called Lots of Fun, or Lots of Pun, excuse me, Lots of Pun, which is a lot of fun. And you're going to be able to create 9 cards and coordinating envelopes, 3 different designs. So 3 cards with 3 different designs. And you'll have an all-occasion stamp set that you can use to create all-occasion cards. And this stamp set is called a builder stamp set. And that means the images can be mixed and matched to build a variety of characters with different looks and features. So it does sound like a lot of fun, even though it's a lot of pun. Okay, I think we're ready to start stamping. Here is the stamp set I'm going to be using today in the moment. And as I mentioned, this is not released yet. It will be in our January to July 2022 mini catalog. So the sentiments, you're in my thoughts. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. You're always so good to others. Be good to yourself too. And look at these nice, relaxing images. Here's an image looking out over the ocean, relaxing with a pet, reading a book, and looking out the window with a cup of hot tea if it was me, but it might be coffee for you. And you're going to need basic white for your card base, 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. You're going to need real red, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. I will have the dimensions down below in the description. And we're going to do a little embossing on this using the Wintry 3D embossing folder. So I'll set that aside. We're also going to need one of the dies from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. And you're going to need basic white, 5 inches by 3 3/4, so we can die cut our stitched rectangle out. You're going to need a scrap of basic white for our sentiment. 2 inks, Old Olive and Memento Tuxedo Black will be our 2 colors that we're going to use. We're going to be using some of the double-stitched Real Red ribbon. They're wonderful gems. And we do have several blends that we're going to use. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight and Old Olive, Soft Suede, and I'm going to use the light gray Granite, the light Petal Pink, and Crumb Cake, and the last blend will be Real Red. You could use whatever colors of blends you have, or if you have markers, that would most certainly work too. Okay, let me clear my space and let's start creating the card. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and run our Stitch So Sweetly die through the die cutting machine. And we have that finished. Now I'm going to bring in our real red. And our Wintry 3D has two embossing folders. One with the pine branches and one with the snowflake. And we're going to use that. This is for the mini, but I'm going to be embossing with a larger sheet of cardstock. So therefore, I'm going to place it here like this. And then I'm going to run it through the large cut and emboss machine. I would do this on camera, but I don't have a lot of room here to put the large cut and emboss machine. But I just ran it through. So I'm going to open it up. And hopefully you can see that part of it is embossed and part of it isn't. So therefore, I am just going to go ahead and set it in here on this other side. And then we're going to go ahead and run this through. So I have the embossing on the entire piece of cardstock. And then I'll take it out. And you do have a light line there, but by the time we cover this up, it'll work just fine. We're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to bring in our black. And this is the image I want to use. So I'm going to use my grid paper to line the image up, the stamp, and then I'm going to pick it up like this. Then I'll go ahead and ink this up. Or, this is a larger image, sometimes it's easier if you turn your stamp upside down and then just take the ink to your image or to your stamp. And I just want to make sure that I have a good coverage. And then I'm going to stamp this over to the left because I want to have room to add our sentiment. And then I'm going to press that down really well. And then straight up. I'm going to lay that aside. And then we're going to stamp our greeting with Old Olive. And I'll bring in our scrap paper. So I'm going to use Old Olive to stamp our greeting. And on our greeting, I already have our stamp mounted. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. Looks like I need to clean my blocks. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in my snips, and I am going to just cut around our sentiment. I'm actually going to cut that off. There we go. And then I'm going to be just moving the cardstock and not my scissors. And sometimes I just like to cut out our sentiment. So I'll lay that aside. And now we're going to bring in our image and do some coloring. Now I am not going to have you sit through all of this, but I am going to do a little bit. So I'm going to come in with the light crumb cake, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to see if I can bring this in a little bit better for you. And then I'm going to use that to color her hair. And then I'm going to come back with the dark crumb cake. And you can start with the light or the dark. Either one, it doesn't matter. So I could have started with the dark. I'm going to come back with the dark, and I'm going to go over those lines that are already there for me to give it a little contrast. And then I can go back with my light if I would like to. Then I'm going to come in with a light real red, and I'm going to color her barrette with the Real Red, and then I am going to color, use the Stampin' Blends for the pillows. And then her shirt, this time I'll come in with the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'll just go over those lines. Then come back with the light. And blend in. I may put a shadow on her shirt. And I have one already finished. So I'm going to come back and add just a little bit of a shadow here. And therefore, since I've done that, I'm going to come back with the light and blend that shadow in her shirt. And then I used gray granite for the window frame. And I used Petal Pink for her skin color. And it looks like there's a little bit right here. And I used soft suede for her coffee cup. And also for the pillow that she's sitting on. So let me show you the finished. So here is the finished, and her slacks was in Oud Olive. So this is the finished product using those blends that I mentioned. Okay, I think we're ready to put our card together. So I'm going to bring in our Real Red embossed. And I have about, I think, a little over about 7 inches of Real Red ribbon. And we're going to adhere this on our card. I'm going to bring our silicone craft sheet in. And then I'm going to turn this over and grab my Stampin' Seal Plus. And it's sometimes just a little easier to get that started. I grabbed the Stampin' Seal instead of the Stampin' Seal Plus. It's a tongue twister because I was having a little trouble with the Stampin' Seal. So I need to look at that and fix it. And then we'll bring this across. Add a little adhesive. And then we could put a glue dot right here to hold our ribbon down, but we're going to be adding this layer, which will take care of that. Okay, let's go ahead and add this to our card base. And I'm going to be using liquid glue for that. And we'll get that added on here. And we'll place that in the center of our card base. What I like about the liquid glue, gives you a little bit of leeway where you can, if you need to change it a little bit. I think that's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up our image with dimensionals. I'm going to turn that over. I added 5 dimensionals. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring this, but in the middle. Make sure I have the same amount on the top and the bottom and the left and the right. And then once I'm happy, I'll go ahead and press that down. Then we'll bring in our sentiment that we fussy cut out. I'm going to turn that over and add some dimensionals. So this is a fairly quick and easy card, but I really love the images and all the sentiments in this new stamp set. And I'm just going to add 3 dimensionals. Take the backings off. And then I'm going to place this right up here. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. Isn't that the truth? Sometimes I think we just don't take the time to relax as much as we should, it seems like. So here are our wonderful gems. I'm going to grab our Take Your Pick tool. If you're not familiar with the Take Your Pick tool, let me quickly let you know. This end here is a putty end. So it has putty, and then you can just kind of twist that off if you haven't used it for a while. And then you can turn it to get more putty, and you can pick up your gems that way. Then on the other end it has a little cap. This is a spatula. And then you just twist this and pull out. Turn it around. And you have a piercing tool. So how neat is that? So I'm going to go ahead and use the putty. I used to use the flat spatula for my gems, but I have found that I really like the putty. And when you use the putty in, you just slide it off and then pick it up. Now I can use the gold, but I know we have a lot of red. I have the red card base, the ribbon, and the barrette, and the cushions to kind of pull all that together, and then the old olive here. But I'm going to go ahead, and it looks like I've used most of my smaller gems, so we're going to start with the larger, and I'm going to place one down here, pick one up, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use that smaller one, and we're going to add it up here in the corner. So here is our card today. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. Wouldn't you like to receive this in the mail or send it to someone? So definitely send your cards that you make. Again, I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Don't forget, time's running out, but you can still sign up for my December 3rd class. Register now so I can get all the product out to you. Class fee is $45, and you'll receive over $30 worth of product. And you can find more information at www.rusticbarncards.com. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.